Right, so let's start off with on our hands and knees. We'll go through our bit of spine, bit of core to begin with. So hands and knees from here. So take a big breath in, bring that spine all the way up. And as you breathe out, sink that lower part of your spine down. So big breath in, all the way up. Big breath out. And if you get a couple of pops in that spine, beautiful. All the way up. Keep sinking. Back and down. So feel like you can feel all your spine moving up and down. Let's do one more. Real big breath in. Sink back down. And then I want you to go back into that child's pose. So sitting right back onto your heels. And then hands out in front of you. And let's just spend 10-15 seconds here. Just get comfy. And breathe nice and slowly. 3, 2, 1. Pressing forward. So we're onto our stomachs. And then gently pressing our top half up. So shoulders back. Let's not hyperextend, but let's have our shoulders back. Opening up our chest. And 3, 2, 1. Let's sit back again. This time we want to try and think about pressing our shoulders in towards the floor. We get a bit of a stretch in that lat as well. That's it. Sitting right back and then forward one more time. Same again. So pressing up. If you want to advance this a little bit, you can load onto your toes and then bring your hips up as you then stretch from there. So that's a slight advancement from that. So hold that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up into a downward dog. So pressing up. Head between your shoulders. You can get both heels down, brilliant. If not, let's work one at a time. So stretching those ankles. So working through. Keep alternating between them. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back down to hands and knees. So we're doing a little bit of thoracic work now. So we're going to go hand onto head, where we rotate through and then twist up, hands following that elbow. So try with this to not like rotate from your hips. Okay, try and just go upper back, rotating around with each one. We're getting a little bit looser. All the way up. Let's do one more and change sides. So same idea. Again, you might find one side easier than the other. Looking to go through, up. Side's definitely easy for me. Up. Let's do 2 more. So through, open up. Last one. Come through. And open up. Okay, good. Let's do some bird dog. So I'll go side on. We're going to go left hand forward, right leg back. Let's hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then come in for 5. So 1, out, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 more. Then change sides. So over we go. Reaching right out. Sorry, hold first, yeah. 3, 2, and 1, and then in. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, a bit of a challenge, bit of a test. Let's see if we can do that on the same side. So you're going to go right leg back. Let's see if you can get that right hand out. Bit of a challenge, and then try and hold that. Try and do the same side whilst trying to keep yourself quite level. 3, 2, 1. Try that other side. Manage that one, not better. 3, 2, falling over. 2, and 1. Good. Spin yourselves around. So, same idea in that we're going to go into this 90-degree position. Small of our back into the mat. We're going to go right leg forward to start with, and then back out. So hands are going to stay nice and tight. We're not going to go overhead. We're just going to work the lower body. So out, and then back in. So stay nice and tight. Left leg comes forward, and back in. You get a little bit of hip stretch as well in there, and then come back in. But our core should be really firing here. And back in. And then we want to also bring our shoulder blades off the floor. So really engaging that core now. Keep going between them. Let's do a couple more each side. One more each side. Come forward, come back. One more and back. Good. Bit of lower back. So one leg straight, one over the top. Let's hold to start with. We're trying to get both shoulders on the floor. And just breathe through that. 3, 2, and 1. Let's change sides. Other one comes over. Both shoulders down. Feel that nice stretch down that back. 2, and 1. Back to that first side. So now make sure this knee's at 90 degrees. And what we're going to do is gently press outside of that knee, whilst keeping this other arm flat out. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Change over. So press on that knee. Do the stretch down the lower back. You might get a little bit of hip work as well if you're pressing down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, onto your front. Just going to do one more lower back work, and then we're going to do some shoulders. So scorpion, I think we've done this before, where we go hands out to the side, and we look to get our left ankle towards our right hand. So we look to come up and over, reset, and then change sides, come over that way. So take your time with this. Let's not rush it. We want to just reach around. So we get a little bit of lower back, we get a bit of hips. And as you get a little bit looser, you start to move a little bit further forward. So let's do that for 2 more times each side. Very good. And then once you've done that, I'm going to do some prone extensions, they are called. So once you're ready, you're going to go hands on the top of your head, lift up whilst lifting your legs off the floor, and then return. So top half and bottom half come off the floor, and down. You should feel this right down that lower part of that back. So hands above your head, coming up, feel the squeeze, reset. Come back up and back down. So up, good. 2 more. Last one. Very good. So come into a kneeling position. Do a little bit of shoulders. So hands at that sort of 90-degree angle. We're going to bring them up, rotate up. If we can rotate a little bit further back, brilliant. And then look to come forward. And then if we can get a bit more rotation, do so without sort of cheating and coming over. As far as you can get. And then come back up without arching. So glutes are on. Rotate down, and then just keep going through that range. With each rep, you're trying to get a little bit further, making sure that we're not coming in by cheating here. try to make sure we're still at 90 degrees. All the way up. You can always feel shoulder going around its socket. Down. All the way up. One more. Down. Good. Okay. Bit of a stretch before we move on to our lower body. So hands behind. Okay. Just going to lower my camera down a smidge. So what you're going to try and do is get your hands, sit back, is get your hands to go towards the floor whilst keeping your body upright without collapsing. You're trying to push your hands downwards and you'll get a nice stretch all across here. So actively pushing down those shoulders, those hands. Do a nice stretch across the front. And come off. Well done. Let's do one more time. So arms straight behind us and push down towards the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, burn. Good. So we're going to work sort of bottom up here. So let's do ankles first. So like we did last week, let's do test, retest against the wall. So up against the wall, see what range we've got by, done this before now. So take a step away from the wall whilst keeping both heels down, pressing our knees forward until it reaches the wall. Keep testing it, come as far back as you can. Once you think you've found your limit, sort of memorize where that is on the floor. Do that with both sides. So one might be better than the other. Got happy with mine. Good. All right. Once we've done that, we do a couple of little exercises. So into a lunge, please. Into a lunge. So quite a small gap. We don't need a massive stride here. Quite a small step. We're going to look to put our hands on this front knee and then really press forward here. So we're not worried too much about hips here. We're just trying to get a good stretch in this front ankle. So the harder you press into this, the more you're going to get. So pressing forward, keep this heel down. 3, 2, 1, come off it. Okay, that one more time. So pressing forward. So press forward. Don't let this knee cave in. So press that knee right over that big toe. Press, 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 press. 2 and 1. Change sides. Forward we go. Loading that front leg. Knee over the toe. 2 and 1. You come. One more time. Forward into it. Off we go. Press, 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 press. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Back to the wall. Let's do another stretch before we retest. So you're going to go sole your feet against the wall, like so. And look to lean in towards the wall. Should get a real nice stretch there. So press your weight forward. So less of a stretch would be if I had my foot closer to the floor. The strongest stretch would be almost having my foot flat against it. 2, 1, change sides. Let's press into that wall there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do the classic pre-run stretch where we're leaning against the wall. We have a little stretch of both calves. So to work through both ankles. Three, 2, and 1. Right. Retest yourself. See where you're at. See if you've come back any further. Hopefully, we should be able to go a little bit further. Eh? Wow. Happy with mine. Decent. Good. Once you've tested both, grab yourself a quick drink. Good. Get a quick drink, and then we're going to start off with some groins before we then get into our hips. Right, so what we'll do, the one we do quite often in this kneeling position, with one leg out to the side, we're going to rock back and forth. So our hands are supporting us as we come back and forth through the range of motion we've got in that groin. Make sure this foot is flat down, and if we feel that's quite comfortable, try and work it a little bit further out, and then go from there. Pressing back and forth. A bit more of an angle. So right back onto that heel. Good. Test yourself a bit more. Let's try and get that foot a little bit further out. Test it. Go on. 3, 2, and 1. Keep that foot out there. Let's press it as far as we can now. As far as you can get, and then sit back onto that heel. So get a real good stretch in here now. And then let's just breathe through that. Should be a good stretch now. We make sure we're feeling it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly slide it in. Change sides. Over we go. So find that range of motion, and let's begin to rock back and forth. Again, as you move through it, slide that foot out, get a bit more. Very good. 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's slide it as far as you can, comfortably. I don't want any strains in. And then sit yourself back. Breathe through a stretch. Nice controlled breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Slowly back in. Back into that butterfly stretch. So soles of feet. The classic. So let's go. Elbows inside knees. Gently press onto those knees to start with. Nothing too extreme. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Okay, let's try and bring them a little bit closer. Make sure we're sitting upright. Okay, we do a bit of that PNF work we did last week. So what you're going to do, when I count you in, you're going to drive your elbows in, your knees up for 5 seconds, okay? So 3, 2, 1, drive your knees up while pressing down. 3, 2, and 1. And that should allow you to sit a little bit deeper into it, okay? And relax for a couple. We'll do that one more time. So 3, 2, 1. Drive those knees up. Drive, 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 drive. 3, 2, 1. And then you just relax all the way down. Good. If you want to just sort of rock a little bit side to side, you find a little bit that's just a little bit tighter. Stay there. It's good. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, a little bit of side lunges or cross-back squats, whatever you want. So stand up. What have you got? So, we take a step to the side. We make sure our hips come back. We then sink across. Arms come out to balance us. As low as you can get. Come up, reset. Hips back, change sides. So you come all the way over, down, up to the middle, stand and reset. And then let's keep going through that. So hips back first, come across, keeping both heels down, and up. Well done. So keep going through that. So remember, hips back and then come across. Trying to get nice and low here. And if you get to a point where we can get this low, perfect. See if we can work through that. And then up, reset, hips back first, come across, and stand. Let's do 2 more each side. Very good. So again, let's do one more. Let's try and get real low this one. This rep, let's get as low as you can. Very good. And I'm just going to go feet dead wide. Nice and wide. And we fold again. So fold at the hips. And then we look to get the back of our hands onto the floor. And just stay there. Just breathe through that. Looking to be nice and relaxed here. We're not stretching or being too rigorous with anything we're doing. Nice and relaxed. And we sink first. If you can think about almost getting your sternum or your forehead down towards the floor. If you want to get them feet a bit wider, do so. 3, 2, and 1. Bring those feet back in. Okay, we're going to start working in towards our hips now. So we're going to go from a little squat to a stand that we've done before. So feet just side shoulder width. Okay. Hips come back a little bit, and then we sit as low as possible. Hang out there, and then we come and fold. So this is going to get a bit of that stretch. So let's be careful with those hamstrings. Sit, and then just alternate between the two. So a bit of hamstring work, and then sit low. If you want to stay here for a second at the bottom and do that, that's okay, I don't mind that. Or you just keep working through a squat to stand. Let's do that twice more. Sitting nice and low. And then we're going to go into our lunge. Into our lunge. So now, unlike before, we want a much bigger stride. Now we're going to look to squeeze this back glute, whichever leg's gone back, as we press forward. So hands can go where comfortable, if that's that front leg, if that's off your chest, by your side, in the air, whatever you feels best for you. As long as we're not sort of arching here too much, squeeze this glute, looking to drive forward. 2, and 1. Let's rock back. Bit of a gentle stretch. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Forward we go. Okay, let's grab hold of this back ankle if we can. So the side where it's gone back is the entry level, and if we want to try and reach behind, so it's our opposite arm, try and do that as well. And then let's look to lean back a little bit, just lean back a tad to get a nice stretch down this quad. 3, 2, and 1. One more hamstring and then we'll change sides. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Change sides. So again, make sure we get a good stride length. Squeeze this glute as we press forward. Feel the stretch in this front hip here. Make sure we're squeezing this glute 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back we come. Nice hamstring stretch. 2, 1. Forward we go. Get your balance, get yourself set, and then grab hold of this back ankle. And lean back a little bit. Nice stretch down this quad. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, down to the floor. 1990 stuff. So, start moving my camera down a smidge. Right, so feet flat. To begin with, let's just drop knees side to side. We get a little bit of hip work, internal and external. We're trying to make sure our torso stays relatively square on. So if you feel you've got the ability to do so, you can do this freestanding, where you can just try and go without your hands, but you'd be amazed how much harder that is. Okay, and then let's stay on one side. Maintain this 90-degree position. We're just going to look to fold towards our knee and shin, and then come back up. Let's do that for 5. So down, squeeze, that's 2. Let's do 3 more of those. So down we come, and up. That's 1. Okay, let's keep ourselves upright. Hands wherever it feels comfortable. We're going to look to try and lift this front knee off the floor. Okay? As you lift that front knee up, feel a nice stretch in that hip. So up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to think about pressing that front knee down into the floor. Okay, so if you go to press that front knee down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last one on this side. We're going to look to move this back ankle up. So for 5, where we come up and then back down. So up, 2, get it all in this hip and this glute here. Up, down, good. All the way up. 4 and 5. Okay, rotate round. Same again. So folding and then coming back up. Going in towards that knee or shin. That's 3, let's do 2 more. Forward we go. And last rep. So same idea to start with. I'm going to try and lift this knee up and hold. If you want to rep it instead, that's fine. Or we just want to hold. 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to press down. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. Try to press this knee down. You want to add a bit extra, that's fine. Drive that knee into the floor. 3, 2, 1. And then this one. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Up, rotating up. And back down. Let's do that for 5. Try and get it up. As high as possible. And 1 more. Oh, good. Okay. Legs out in front of us. One we've done before, where one leg is straight, one foot comes up, we drop our knee towards the other knee, and then we bring our knee up, so open up, so down, and then up. Ideally, this foot is facing that way, so sideways. So then down, and then rotating all the way up. A couple more. Up. One more, up and hold. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Change. So again, want this toe pointing that way if we can. Oh, that side much tighter. Oh. And just keep working through. Nothing else should really be moving other than this hip. I don't really want to sort of swinging it up. It's nice and controlled. And if that means you can only get to there, that's fine. As long as it's just that hip that's moving. Couple more. And then see if we can get as high as possible. Try and get all the way up. Try and get all the way up. For 3, 2, and 1. Okay. I think we did this a couple of weeks ago. So a bit of a challenge where this foot comes across. This foot then goes on top of that foot. We want to see if we can get that knee touching that foot. This is where we want to try and get to. Okay? To make this a bit easier, this foot comes a little bit further down the shin, and you'll be able to find that knee can get a bit lower down. To make it harder, you just bring that foot further across. And obviously that creates a bigger angle there. Try and press it down. So, if you feel like you're struggling with that, you can gently press on that knee. Get a little bit more range. Once you feel you're comfortable, you want to just try a little forward fold. And you get a nice stretch in the glute when you do that. And then just breathe through for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourselves up. Let's change sides with it. The other foot goes across. This comes on top. And then let's see what we've got in terms of range this side. Definitely tighter. Good. Initially nice and upright. Pressing that hand onto that knee. Like I said, the easier option, bring that foot towards the shin, or to progress it, foot goes outside the knee, and then we can fold. So bring yourselves forward. Four, 3, 2, and 1. While we're here, before we do some pigeon work, let's go legs straight. We're going to bring one over, and then we have a big squeeze, so a nice big hug. So we're stretching this glute. So that is option A. Okay. Option B would then be a twist. So opposite elbow comes across, and you can rotate into it. And option C, make it even harder. What we do is just slide this leg around and under, and then give that a big squeeze as you twist. Just sort of wrapped up amongst yourself. Get a nice stretch down this glute. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Unravel yourself and change sides. So start at level 1, get your stretch, and then rotate if you want. Might get a little pop in your back, a little crack. And then if you want to, extend that. Option 3 with a twist. Four, 3, 2, and 1. All right, pigeon time. So one leg forward, drop it down. So we're at 90 degrees. Go a bit more an angle. So 90 degrees. Back leg should be nice and flat. And we're going to try and get this 90, whichever leg's at 90 degrees, that glute, we sink into that stretch. Don't force it. Just try and sink down. Let's keep ourselves nice and upright. We also want to make sure we're squeezing this glute, because that gives a bit more stretch in this hip as well. Just hang out here for a sec. Nice stretch. You want to sort of rotate side, twist around, find a little bit of corners that are a bit tighter. Feel free to do that. And then we are going to add a little rotation. So if your left leg has gone forward, your right arm is going to come up, open out, and then across and twist up. Quite tough that. Let's do 2 more. So through, rotate up, last one, right through, all the way up, and then let's change sides. Let's go 90 degrees. That back hip is straight if we can. Eventually we just sort of sink his front glute into the floor whilst maintaining a nice upright position. Make sure we've got that 90 degrees at the front. If not, if we're here, let's actively try and get that leg round. It's the hardest part about this, I know. Make sure we're squeezing this back glute. And then let's rotate. So arm across or through, all the way up. Looking through, all the way up. Let's do 2 more. Across and through. 1 more, through, and then up. Beautiful, well done. Okay, I'm going to go back into a lunge. What we're going to do now, similar to what we've done before. So from side on, we're going to look to lift this back leg off the floor. So make sure our weight, we've got our toes on. And then we're going to lift like so, squeeze this glute and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly back down. And then let's repeat. Up we go. So hold, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Nice straight line with this back leg and down. Let's do that 1 more time. So relax. And up we go. So up, squeeze this glute, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Change. Nice stride. Make sure we're on our toes and that back leg. And let's lift. So up, squeeze this glute. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down. And up again. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Drive up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 2, 1. Back down. Last one of these. Ready? Up. Squeeze this glute. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 3, 2, and 1. From here, let's just rotate ourselves into a nice wide stance. Similar to what we did before. Let's fold forward. And hands can come down. With this, I want you to work your feet now a little bit wider. Get them hands on the floor if you can. Ten seconds, breathe. Keep working them feet wider. 3, 2, 1. Bring yourselves down to the floor. Last couple of minutes. Feet nice and wide. So a bit of QL, so a bit of lower back. Right hand towards right foot. Left hand comes over the top. You're trying to get as far over as you can. This is one I really struggle with. Right over. To make this stretch a bit harder, what we would do, this right leg would come inside our knee as we then reach. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come off it. Over we go. Same on the other side. If you want to bring that leg, arm inside that knee, and then try and reach. Keep going, keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, same again, but in the middle. So hands in the middle, looking to just slide our hands forward as far as we can. 3, 2, 1. Coming back up. Let's bring our legs close together now. And then let's see, make sure, let's see if we can grab our toes. If not, further forward. And then folding over. 3, 2, 1. Spin yourselves back around. Same as the start. So we're going to go knees quite wide now. You're going to sit yourselves right back onto your heels. And then rock forward. And then back. So from side on. Feet are quite wide now. Sitting back. Pulling forward. You get a bit of groins here as well. So forward we go. Right back. Let's stay back. So sitting onto those heels, hands out in front of you, and sit and relax. Let's hang here for 10 seconds. Breathe. 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those knees close together again. Back down. Press that top half up gently. 2 and 1, and then sit back for one final time. So right back onto those heels, hands out in front of you, and just breathe through. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Done. That was good. Hope you enjoyed that.